Hello, world. Tara Sumur from Stockbroker to Firewalker coming in from Cochrane, Alberta. Happy Valentine's Day. So, I didn't think this would happen quite yet because I finished setting up my studio, at least for the short term, and I was really excited waking up this morning to get there. But I also have a way in which I deal with myself at this point in time, and that is that things happen in an order. And if there's certain steps that I know need to happen, I don't run out the door skipping them. I don't know how long I'll continue this experiment for, but currently, and this has been going on through quite a bit of COVID, I know that if I overstress, I will end up physically responding to that, probably in a negative way. And one of the things that I've been able to find peace in is being able to set up a structure and then allow myself to not implement it or execute it with perfection. And so I knew in setting this up this would happen. I didn't know it was going to happen already, starting on only day 4, but it is. And that's me setting this up so I'm able to continue to deliver these. I probably won't stream them as broadly as I am right now after a short while, but so I'm able to deliver these from wherever I am. And so the next key to how I live my life right now, and in part it's because I have a lot of quite specific needs with respect to diet and that I've figured out how to support myself with. I do live. Mm-hmm. Maybe I figured out how to support myself with. Maybe I'm kidding myself. The universe spoke. Um, and so, had I rushed out today, I either would have shortchanged the time that my cat, who is very old, needed, and that would have bothered me through the day and created a stress, or I would have gone without food, and I used to do that often, but that would have created a stress. And I could likely get away with that for a day or two, depending on how much energy I'm burning, but it's only a question of when I will crash again. And I know this about myself, and it's put me at a place where I have now forced myself to explore and move through patterns I never would have otherwise. So, like yesterday, and maybe this will be the way it goes, maybe the morning one is always going to be who knows what, and in the next 3, I'll catch up what I planned. My plan was to talk a little bit this morning about what personal coherency means, and instead, I'm demoing it and our power within it. The thing is, had I made the choice to rush off, I either would have completely missed the broadcast, or I would have shown up and I would have looked perfect and made the broadcast, and then I would have paid with the own internal stresses on my body. And doing that once, no one would know. And frankly, now and again, there's times when we have to do that. But when we do that every single day, whether people know or not, we slowly but surely hurt ourselves. So I'll be able to fit everything I wanted to do into the next one. And for this one, I think what I'm going to do is we're just going to do a little bit of inner feeling of our body in a guided way as we're doing the heart focused breathing, because the connected breathing, the heart, brain, which is what I'm hearing, but for me, it's also heart, body, because I am in a collective set of bodies that has spent a lifetime having a negotiation. That's a kind of hostile word, but a negotiation to work out some way of cooperation between a very, very powerful, very opinionated, very righteous, has nice thoughts most of the time, very righteous mind, and a very powerful body that has no patience when that righteous mind tells it it needs to do something that it does not perceive as being good for it, and the opposite. And again, I think this is a dance many of us play out. If we're not playing it out within our own bodies, then we're often taking one side of it, becoming comfortable with that, and then playing it out in our relationships. Because ultimately, we are all here to be complete collective bodies. If we're not complete within ourselves, we're going to try and fill from outside. So I'm enjoying the smell. I'm appreciating deeply the smell, Actually, my relationship with scent and smell has got much more profound as I've done more and more energy work. I'm appreciating the smell. I'm able to appreciate the sound of birds. And as I hear the birds, I think about just lifting my head higher and opening up the gateways of exchange to make it easier for the breath to move through my body. And again, I often close my eyes because I find most of my power comes from inward. So when I'm doing my own work, I will go inward. I challenge myself to do this work with my eyes open. And if your eyes don't want to close, that is in no way a measure of is it working. But again, starting to take those breaths, breathing a little more slowly and deeply than usual, seeing, sensing, feeling, and imagining that every single breath goes through your heart. Because people, again, I do believe that if every single person magically did this and did this for only about 6 weeks, with differences going to be noticed, tangible differences going to be noticed within a week, I think we can change the world doing just this. We need to create coherence. We need to find our way of feeling free. We need to find a way that coherently feels free to all the centers in our body. And when we are feeling that way of feeling free, we just need to radiate it out and create a Petri Dish of freedom that doesn't involve all of the different taking of sides that the current freedom movements have. This is not something you do instead of whatever freedom movement you're currently involved in or are not involved in. This is something you can do along with every freedom movement you're involved in, no matter what your current role in it is. Who I'm going to throw in a call out today, though, is for any of my people who are like me, who do believe in rules and systems, who do actually understand the only way that we can flourish and function and have abundance is if we are able to create a system. And I'm not saying the ones we have now are working in this manner, but if we are able to create a system that allows us to coherently work together. And without that, we are not going to be able to continue. This planet is not going to be able to continue to support us unless we are able to learn how to coherently support ourselves. And the current way of separation and more divide, and we're seeing the epitome of it in the Freedom Rally, the two sides, I don't believe that it has any hope. I don't know that it will run out in my lifetime or even my children's whose eyes I look into, but I have no hope that humanity will be here for that much longer. And I have some fear inside that this could be happening faster than any of us know. And that could be some of what's making us behave the way we are. So, if you are one of the people who is feeling rigid and pain and you're hurting and you are just so frustrated with the hypocrisy of all sides, you're probably at the core wired the same way I am. And I know that when I try and just turn away, it doesn't work for me. I feel like I'm not doing my part. But when I get righteous and judgmental, that actually does feel a bit like I'm doing my part. I'm speaking my truth, and that's a bit what I was here to do. But it hurts me when I speak my truth just from here. My body pays. My body pays with illness. My body pays with tension. So in some ways, my brain is doing what it wants to do, but my body's hurting because of it. That's not coherence. So I'm not getting any comments, but I do think people, you can start to comment. And so to anyone who listens to this now or in between, let's do our minute of breathing. And I'd just like you to observe where in your body you feel the energy want to go and where you want to breathe from, because this will start to give you some cues through a different manner of how your body functions. And I guarantee that no matter what you think, if your body is not functioning in alignment with what you're thinking, then there's a disconnect somewhere. Not sure where it is, but there's a disconnect somewhere. So first step might be finding it. Let's do our breathing and then I'll sign out. In and out. Maybe put your hands low on your body and ask the breath to go deep down to your sacrum, going through your heart. Can you feel the shift? Can you hear the shift in my body as I become more coherent? It's really subtle. I see a few of you are on, and I suspect you're breathing with me, so I want to continue doing this for a couple more moments with you. We can actually entrain and breathe together over this camera. In and out. And out. And in. And out. With every breath you take in, you actually breathe in a collective mixture of literally all life. And I'm not even meaning just mammals. That's pretty scary. No wonder a lot of us are in bodies that have decided to quit breathing. No wonder a lot of us are in bodies that suffer with anxiety and block it off here. That's a lot of exposure to a lot of other life. But our bodies are naturally designed to be this Petri dish. And when we try and isolate ourselves as much as we have and separate ourselves as much as we have, so suddenly there's no medium left to create more life. And that's what I believe is in danger of happening to humanity and maybe even to all life on this planet. And I don't want that to happen. That for me was the words I needed to speak because I can feel the relaxation come in. So I'm going to sign off now, head to the store, do a little more playing with the technology part of it, hopefully be off the cell phone next time I see you, or have figured out how to use slides on the cell phone, which I'm not sure I can. But that's my goal. I'm also going to have the store open from noon to 5. We do still have lots of our Valentine's Day products. They're there, and they have all been infused with these deep ohm spirals that I'm talking about. They have all been infused with this commitment to growing and being alive while staying committed to this planet, and also been infused with the anchoring in so that it can also grow and stay alive of the spiral that will create or is the essence, or I maybe don't have the right words are limited, but is the return of the deep, compassionate, divine feminine in the way that is meant to be, not necessarily attached to what we would see as women or females. That divine feminine way of being. And that's what we need back and anchored onto this planet for all of us to be able to source from. Thank you for all of you on here. I'll see you in a couple hours. Please come join the Crystal Cavern because that's where these are going to continue. I will not keep live streaming everywhere as often as I am right now. Forever. I don't know how long. Maybe as long as the truckers rally for.